if restaurants open up and where I can get some stuff going, I do a Battle of the Sexes, man.
Mhm.
It's just, it's gonna take a minute for indoor stuff. Now, if they were still at the location in the marina and it was outdoors, we'd be straight.
Yeah.
But it's not the case right now. Man, I'd love to do another Battle of Sexes, man. I'd love to do a Battle of Sexes down to the wine tasting. I want to do something like that.
Mhm.
But it's just, we got to wait maybe another 6 months, man, before things get really loose, man, where everybody feels more comfortable
Okay.
with, being inside with other people. But by then, we have a lot more people vaccinated, if people decide to take it, of course. But yeah, if it opens up, man, yeah, I think about doing another. I mean, because it's been since 2016 was the last one I did one.
Yeah.
So
And a
I
lot
do
of
another
people
one.
been like chomping at the bit about it. They like, hey, what y'all's gonna do it? Like, I don't know. I don't know how you think it.
I'm trying to find a spot, man, because their new location isn't that big. It's not as big in there in Carson now. But I might have another spot in Inglewood, but I'm not sure yet. They're going to reopen.
Relax.
So we'll see.
Relax, baby.
So
Sorry, Jen. Sorry. That's my dog.
Well, I hope so. Hope you ain't talking to your girl like that.
She going crazy. No, yeah, right. I get my ass beat.
Right.
So
I'm trying to get in contact with Will right now.
okay.
See where he's at. But I sent him. He didn't have a link. I don't know why he didn't have a link because he got his email on there.
Yeah, I got the right email, right? Because I got the one that you gave me. Like,
I'm pretty sure it's the same one. So
okay.
I just hit him up.
I've been trying to be disciplined with that. Like, really, like, make sure that I do it right. Like, make sure I got everybody's emails and send it off to the right people. So,
right.
How about you, Anthony? So, how have you, like, now that things are reopening, you thinking about expanding the circle or just keeping it, the same thing that you've been doing?
You know me, man. There's my circle has always been small, and I took the business concept of it and just, COVID was a possible time to cut some losses, and just not invite them back. My stepdad was one of them people's. He got fired from his job that he worked for 35 years. It was just too much money. But some people are too much of a liability, and I'm very fortunate with my group. You know them, everybody. You're part of it. My circle is small, and it's a blessing, and I'm glad everyone's kind of stuck to it, and I'm glad I didn't get cut from anybody's circle. That too. So maybe I've always maintained the same mindset as far as like who I allow into my life.
Yeah.
They got more of a screening process than I think anyone. But as once you're in, you're kind of in. It's just it's family, So I don't look at that. I look at the family aspect of it. So if you're in, you're in, and I'm very lucky that my circle remained the same. I'm not even gonna lie.
I mean, mine I would say shrank a little bit and primarily because my mother lives here now, and during COVID, and people worried about health and everything, and I'm like, I didn't like shrink my circle because like I was like mad at people. I was like, I work for the DMV. I work for the public. I see 200 or 300 people a day, right? Wow. And I'm like, I'm more putting everybody in jeopardy trying to maintain all these things. And I was like, nah. And also, I wanted to make sure that I get to see my mom. It's like either I isolate myself from my mom or go see her, and then make sure that I'm very disciplined on the circle. Like that's the only reason. Like Charles, I haven't really been in contact. I'm like, I got to see my mom's. I got to make sure she's straight, because the thing is, like, not only did the COVID got a lot of people sick, but psychologically it damaged a lot of people's well-being, because of the isolation. And I was like, my mom only got me and my brother. And I was like, well, everybody will understand, because the thing is, I got to understand what everybody else is going through. I went to Baltimore and everybody was freaking out about the COVID thing. They didn't even want to talk to you or come in this company to talk to you and connect with you. And so I had to understand, like, a lot of people are afraid. So I dealt with a lot of that. But I'm gonna do a new intro real quick, and then we're gonna go to the next subject, okay? So welcome everybody to Karima Show and Tell, Season 5, Episode 83. It's called Things Are Reopening in LA, and how are we gonna deal with it, y'all? That's how we're gonna deal with it. Anyway, if you don't know what Karima Show and Tell is, it's about poetry, politics, ratchetness, relationships, trending topics, the realities of LA. I'm your host, and I'm hoping everybody's digging it. We already just talked about things are reopening and what are we going to deal with it. We have Mr. Anthony Gonzalez on the show. We have Mr. Charles May on the show, and we have Mr. Robert Biggs on the show. And we're waiting for Will to come in, Will Campbell. Last but not least, at all. But we're waiting for him to come in. So let's talk about the second subject for the night, okay? Let's talk about the second subject. And the second subject is, what do people need to know if they decide to move to LA? And the thing about it, I met this young lady that literally just moved here in the middle of COVID. I was like, you're crazy. I can't believe you would decide to move from the East Coast to here. But I think we, people who live here and also people who are thinking about moving here need to know this information. And so I just want to discuss, housing, work, or social. But Robert, I definitely want to come to you first, because we're going to talk about the housing. You are a realtor and you know things that other people don't know, like especially about trying to buy a house here. So what do people need to know if they're trying to buy a house here?
Well, first and foremost, they need to be realistic with what their pocketbook can represent. I have conversations from people. I do rentals and I also do, people buying stuff. So I'll get a call and people will be like, yeah, I'd like to rent a 3-bedroom house. And LA, Inglewood, but my budget's $2,000, $2,100.
Okay. I bet you that's what you say, you need to go further out.
Yeah.
Further out or further down,
Right.
like a 1-bedroom.
Right.
Mojave.
So I have to set the expectations on that, and then I get somebody who's talking about, well, I want to either buy a house for myself or I want to get a duplex, but my budget is $600,000.
Okay.
Okay. Well, okay, that's not existent really anymore. Maybe if you would have hit me up 2 years ago, maybe. But even 2 years ago, I sold the duplex in Leimert Park for $900,000. So property was already going up. So that's the main thing. They have to be realistic with what their budget is.
So what is the realistic number that they need to have if they want those things you just mentioned earlier?
Okay, if you want a 3-bedroom place, you need to be looking at it probably $2,600 to $3,000. Just
easily.
Yeah,
generous. That's generous.
Right.
That, it may or may not have everything that you're looking for.
Okay.
But that just needs to be almost $1,000 a bedroom, just right off the bat.
And the other thing, how about the duplex? How much?
Oh, duplex?
Yeah.
It really depends on where it is, but those can go, I'm seeing from 800,000 up to 1.1 million. Triplexes are also falling within that range up until maybe the 900 to 1.2, 1.3. But it also, of course, depends on where it's located. If you're willing to go a little farther east, you might have a little more of those buildings, but they're not gonna necessarily be in good shape. And you might have to worry about going outside at night every now and then.
You may have to worry about going outside.
Yeah.
Y'all receive that. So, I mean, are you finding that people are understanding to your expectation that you're telling them, or are they just like, hell no, you don't know what you're talking about, I'm gonna go to somebody else?
Well, no, I show them, I say, well, you know what, you probably need to be here if you really want to get there, but I'll show you what's available for the price range that you're looking for. And then I'll show you what you need, as far as what limits to get you what you really want.
Okay.
So that, because people, they'll give you a range, but then sometimes they'll have maybe 100, 200 that they can play with, or maybe they'll give up that Starbucks or a month or whatever. It just really depends.
Right.
Or they might be living with their man and their girl, and that'll help supplement it. But That's just it. But as far as location is concerned, with the stadium coming and all that other stuff, I see that it's turning over. So it used to be all the way up until Crenshaw, that's where the gentrification was going.
Okay.
Then it worked its way all the way down to Western.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's making its way down to Normandy.
Oh, it's further.
Wow, really?
So now, so now you're getting people that are turning those properties over, renovating them and stuff like that, and they're going for higher prices. So I think the trend is going to be that's going to continue to go that way. I'm not sure. Well, if it'll make it all the way down to the 110, because that's where you start to get really dicey.
Mm-hmm.
But it's trying to just extend, and those people are banking on using the stadium as a marketing tool for when they're selling their house, because it is close to the stadium.
Yeah.
So that just gives them that extra bonus and be able to turn it over and make a profit.
So Charles, how about you? What do people need to know if they decide to move to LA? We can talk about housing, work, social. What do you want to talk about?
Well, with the pandemic, everything's changed on that. But Robert touched on the housing, so that's his area of expertise. I would say with social, it just depends, man. If you're already attached with somebody, and then what age group you fall in. But I would say the social scene was probably the biggest change with the COVID everything. But as the normalcy comes back, again, I don't know any major spots to hang out at, where the hip crowd hangs. But if you're ready to settle down, man, you could do it. I wouldn't really, think about coming here in a certain age, be like, oh, I'm gonna come here to LA and settle down and meet somebody. And it's just too many opportunities, man. Too much eye candy on both sides for everybody. So it just depends on where you're at, your age and your mindset, man. As far as social, like I said, with the COVID thing, man, it just turned everything upside down. And like a lot of people, especially a lot of women, are more open to Netflix and chill. You'd be surprised, like, oh, you just come by and watch it. So when you get on the dating sites and stuff, it's no more, oh, I want to go here and go there. And now women are like, okay, well, after a couple meetings, come through the crib, and then well, have you seen this movie? And then you go through all the Amazon Prime stuff, and then the Hulu, all the Netflix, and so it's actually good if you're a male, if you're like, I don't want to spend a lot of money, because you can always, I'll just bring some food and some wine or something like that, and then try and play it like that. But yeah, just moving here, and it depends on where you're moving from, and what your experiences are where you came from. But it's ultimately, man, it's still LA. Still a lot of plastic, a lot of fake boobs and fake butts and plastic surgery. So that hasn't changed that much. It's just the accessibility of all that has gotten easier. And speaking of that, there was a sister that went down to Tijuana. I think she died from some botched plastic surgery. So that's still going to be prevalent out in LA. It's a trip on how many sisters I see who get fake boobs. I'm like, wow, really? That wasn't really a thing with a lot of Black women, but now it's not that uncommon. So you still got to deal with the plastic, with the fake women and fake dudes too. It works both sides, but again, it's LA. It's always going to be more popping out here than the majority of the country. So relationship wise, stuff like that.
So Anthony, how about you? What do people need to know if they decide to move to LA?
All right, so I'm gonna just start like this. Charles, where are you from? You're from California?
All
right, LA. And Robert, you're from California too?
Born and raised.
All right, so I'm from California too, born and raised, but I'm a Valley guy. So I'm from the San Fernando Valley. And the reality of it is, if you want to, start a family, just, like you said, make sure your income's right. Make sure you're steady. You come out here and nothing is set in stone. Mindset wise, I think it's more people leaving California to other places, like those people that are going to Texas and Arizona and Nevada, Idaho, you're bringing a California mindset where we were always more open than anyone from the get-go,
Right.
for the longest time, whether it's black, brown, blue, or orange, so for the most part, obviously. But like even here, it's where I'm from in the San Fernando Valley, it's predominantly Mexican. You go further north towards like the 118 and Simi Valley, then you get towards white. You go further down south in LA area, it's predominantly Mexican and black. And then, further south, like Inglewood area, which came up ever since SoFi got announced. Ever since SoFi got announced, we know a couple people that live over there, and they're like, my house just went from worth this much to that much.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
sometimes just being in LA just means, everyone always says, we hit the lottery by being from here. That's why guys like you, Karima, you guys want to come out here to LA. This is where the scene is. This is where it's at. Plus, our beaches are a lot nicer than the East Coast beaches. I don't care what nobody says.
that's true. You lied about that.
The beaches are nice, but y'all don't got no inner harbor. No, y'all. I wish y'all had an inner harbor here.
But we ain't tripping about that. We got everything else.
Inner harbor is like extra dope.
So it's like the mindset here. You got to come over here with a mindset of open mindset. Because I don't care where you're from. I got guys from when I was serving my time in the military that when they were stationed in California, for me, it's still California. So it was all normal to me. And, but guys that come from like Wisconsin, my big corn-fed white boys, or my other guys that come from the South, and just like they get to California, usually they're just astounded because they ain't never seen no ethnicity in women, Latinas especially. They're like, "Ooh, what's that?" That's candy. So, just change your mindsets when you come over here. Make sure you got your money right, and always know, especially the pandemic proved that it doesn't matter if you have your money right. Doesn't matter if you're doing this. It's just proved that it's really important who we elect here to run our kind of day-to-day life, because for the last year, that's what it was. They were running our day-to-day lives. You know what I mean? They told us what we can and can't do, and not necessarily us, because but like business owners and everything like that. You as a realtor, Robert, you couldn't show houses, so learning how to do my uncle's a realtor as well, so he had to learn and adapt how to do showings, and usually the part of selling a house is selling yourself. It's like, I want you to give me $600,000, well, now $800,000, so I can get you in this home so you can start your family. That single family starter homes and everything like that. So, having that sort of understanding, like, hey, we all here, let's do this. So, just learning and adapting.
Well,
so I think that's the biggest thing.
I since I'm not a native, I'm an import.
You are not, sir. You are not.
I like to call myself an import. So, I mean, it's a lot of things that you have to understand. I think a lot of people have to understand their purpose for why they come. You got to understand that purpose of, like, are you here for, you just want a new life? That means you're going to be open. If you're here to get in the industry, one thing you have to know if you're here for the industry is that everybody is your competition. It's not one person that you're going to meet that's doing this that's not your competition. Like, even the assistant to the assistant to the assistant is your competition. Like, even your homies that they not even writers, they're actors. That's your competition too. All the big names that you know of and heard of, that's your competition. The person who gets here next week is your competition. A lot of people don't get that. They're like, well, or they feel like as though, like, I'm gonna go there and I'm gonna conquer this place. This ain't that place. You can't conquer LA ever. You can evolve to live here, but you ain't gonna come here and be like, yeah, I'm just gonna tell them what I want and I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do and people just gonna love me. Nah, fuck that. They don't work like that here. So that's my thing. So how about you, Robert? What else other than housing that you got to tell these people out here, because it's some naive people coming and they need your help.
Man, it's a long list.
You got a long list?
He said it's so long.
Right.
I mean, a lot of people come here with different types of expectations, but I mean, I've seen it in regards to how people are not as nice here in the first place. So that's one thing. You always find people that are really genuine, that were really looking out for you. So, you know, every now and then you'll find somebody that you can click with and they'll actually really be cool. But then you have other people that are just trying to angle you and figure out how that they can take advantage of you.
Yeah.
So you just have to be mindful of that and have the, you know, the wisdom to try to figure out and discern who's going to be there for you in your corner coming into this dangerous city that we have in regards to just trying to make it, because you know most people out here are trying to make it, especially if you're coming here new. So if that's the case, you know, you just might end up being another sucker depending upon what's going on.
Yeah.
You just got to be aware and, you know, be mindful of the crew that you hang with.
True.
Yeah.
You don't want to be a pawn.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this is a giant chessboard. You know, it depends on which position you want to take. You do not want to be a pawn here in LA, because it's not like being a pawn anywhere else, honestly. You go to another state, they're like, oh, you from California. It's either like, you know, if you can, going back to those communication skills, like if you can communicate with someone, it's just be like, oh man, you're pretty cool.
Yeah.
But if you can't do that, you just a pawn. You know, you don't want that. You do not want that.
And I would say, like you, I think you mentioned, Anthony, have your money right. Like a lot of people, and including myself, right? We miscalculated that money, and literally the money that I thought was going to last for 6 months lasted for like 2.5. And I was like, whoa! I thought everything was going to be good and gravy. I got here like, okay, cool. Only thing I got to worry about, because I had housing, I had money stacked up. I just got to worry about getting a job. Well, I used to complain. Honestly, I was living in Burbank with 2 other guys. My part of we renting a house, and literally my part of my rent was $535, and I was bitching about it when I first got here. I was like, oh my God, that's so much, and that was just, you know, the rent, not everything else included. And I was just like, now I look back, I say, I just really want to just walk up to that person and say, shut the fuck up, because you don't know what you're talking about. You know how blessed 535 is? Like, I really didn't have an idea. And a lot of people don't understand the expense, the expense of the place is a real thing. Like, I think we had 9.5% tax on buying shit. Okay, here come Will. Okay. So yeah, this the expense itself of the place is like people don't really get, you know, until they get it. How you doing, Will? What's going on?
You in jail? Where you at, dog?
Oh boy, just now finishing up, man. So you know they got these people going crazy, man, with Liz Cheney and all that little stuff there, man. So
how is it that we got on the show, you know, we got a beautiful sunsets, you know, and then we got a brick wall.
Yeah. Where you at, dog?
Oh, hey, I can change it up. I
You had the other setting. You had that one where it looked like you was in the news.
I didn't have time. I didn't have time to do nothing else, man. So you know, I had to.
Nah, you're good, man. It's ironic. It's ironic.
You like about to say, in the emancipation of my proclamation came in my whole duration of my lactation.
I'm just saying, you got that background like you on Cheetah. That's what I'm saying.
Y'all just don't know, man. It's been a brick day for me, man. So
hey, fuck it, hit the wall. Hit the wall running through. Boom.
Yeah.
You know that's the background for the show Cheetahs. You know that, right?
Oh, I didn't know that, man.
I got an interview.
Shit, I thought that was live PD right there.
Oh, okay. I didn't know nothing
Just
about
saw
that.
his wife running around.
So you familiar with that, Karima, huh?
But on the real tip, Will, because we asked the people earlier, right? And I really want you to give us Give us your answer. We're going to continue with the question, then I'm going to go back and ask you another question. So what do people need to know if they decide to move to LA? Housing, work, social, what do these people need to know?
It ain't easy, man. When you come out here, it's expensive. You know, it's like, I just think about, you know, you got to have some luck too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like when I came, especially when you're coming from somewhere else. Because when I came out here, you know, I had a lot of things falling into place. So I got lucky, but yeah, it's almost like that song. You remember that old song, New York, big city of dreams?
Yeah.
You know, everything in New York ain't always what it seems. That's the way it is here in LA. So, you know.
I agree with you on that one.
Yeah, because a lot of times, you know, people come out here and, you know, they just think they gonna automatically be a star, and everybody here trying to be a star. So, you know, as far as housing and stuff, I think, you know, it's like, you know, when you come here, if your job didn't transfer you here, you might want to be, first thing you want to do is look for a roommate, you know, unless, you know, you're making that type of cheddar. So
get your money right.
Yeah, and then and another thing too, you gotta know, you know, where to go. So sometimes you can get, like, I had a homeboy come out here to visit one time, and you know, he ended up, you know, like not knowing what to do. So, you know, almost got jammed up out here. So but, so and that
gotta know where to go.
Yeah, you got to know where to go. That's what I would probably say to somebody who just moved here.
Yeah, I agree with you. Like, the thing is, like, I think everybody, I call it the Hollywood story. And the Hollywood story is, before you get here, you visit the place, right? And everybody's like, hey, how you doing? Let's go show you a good time. We're going to go out. We're going to do this. And they give you that Hollywood feel, like, oh, it's going to be so much great. So it's going to be great when I get here. Then you move here. Then you're not seen as company. You're seen as competition. And you're going to have to deal, and then everybody's like, nah, you stay over there. I don't know if I can really share my information with you, because you might get ahead of me and what's going on. And I noticed that, like, they friends when you're visiting, but they your enemy, they your adversary when you're trying to get something popping for yourself. So, and you got something to say, Charles? Is that true?
Well, it depends on the you know, line of work you're in, but yeah, you know, you be in the entertainment industry. You know, I never had that problem, you know, because I never had anybody come out here to try and, you know, hey, what's up, man? I'm gonna get in the industry. You know, I do have the people that come up and be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna write a script, and I'm like, oh, okay, so it's just that easy, right? You just gonna write a script, and next thing you know, hey man, you got that software, that final, what's it called? Whatever. You're not ready. You don't even know what the industry standard is. You ain't ready. So
yeah, I had a cousin of mine. Yes, I'm gonna talk bad about him. He actually he hand wrote a script, right? He hand wrote a script, right? Right. He was like, yeah, I sent my script to Tyler Perry. I want to know your opinion of it, right? And he sent me a written copy of the script that he said, Tyler, and he wanted me to give him some opinion. I said he didn't accept this. He threw this in the trash, right? And I didn't even wasn't nice about it. I was like, you got to know that you, and he was mad at me. He was like, I can't believe you don't believe in me. No, I'm not. I believe in you. I just don't believe in what you did.
Right.
To impress somebody that's big time. Like, you can't. He was mad as hell at me and stopped talking to me. I was like, it's all right, but you need to know this truth before you hype yourself up and then you never get a call. So, you know. So Will, one of the things that we asked.
Yeah, sometimes
it never made.
Huh?
Go ahead. Now, sometime in that game, man, you can get you can get a break too early. So, you know, I feel like that's kind of what happened to me.
You're not ready,
yeah. I wasn't ready because you know, I got a couple of breaks when I first time was I wrote a show for the Hugleys back when that was on. And you know, when I came out here, I was like, okay, I know DL and all that. By the time the show was over, by the time I moved here and stuff like that. And then there was this guy, Sean O'Brien. I used to edit. He used to come in and edit. He was one of the producers of Clint Eastwood. And they was doing that movie Gran Torino.
Okay.
So basically, and I had a chance to edit on that. So what happened was like we went up to I think Moon Shadow, somewhere in Malibu.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
basically we was up there. And I remember I took my little portable DVD player with me. So, you know, we was up there and they were just sitting around the table. They were just talking. I'm like, yeah. And every time, you know, there was a chance, I was like, yeah, see what I'm doing? See what I'm doing? They would look at it and go, yeah, yeah. And then, you know, they would talk about something else. And then I remember Sean called me. He said, you know, I'm not on the project. And then what I found out, it was like, when we went there, I was already on the project because they'd already seen what I did. But they was just trying to find out, could they work with me, you know, and what type of personality I had. So and it goes back to one of those things, you know, you always let them know you're hungry, but you don't never let them see you starve. So, you know, and the thing was, you know, I looked like I was up there starving. So, you know, they was talking about other stuff and I kept trying to go back to something.
Look at my
you know, you're right. So, you know,
yeah, you gotta kind of like act like you've been there.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I
know. That's why you gotta, and that's where those
it.
terms. Yeah, that's where those terms come. I mean, in sports too, it's the same thing. It's like you hit a home run, you know, it's like act like you've been there. You know, I know I've done that where, you know, you get that walk-off mentality and it's like, oh yeah, don't worry, it ain't nothing. Like been there, done that, you know, and I think that's more probably for that industry as opposed, obviously sports, you know, you want to celebrate and there's more celebrations now.
That right there, but on the real, I had never been there. Nobody ever told me this is what you do. I thought I was doing, you know, because everybody always say, and you got to let them know, you got to let them know. And, you know, and I'm thinking about it, you know, I'm like, nobody on the inside ever told me, if that ever happened, this is what you do. So I blew it, you know, so.
Yeah. You guys ever seen that movie, Safe House with Denzel and Ryan Reynolds?
Yeah. I've seen it, yeah.
So where Denzel kind of schools him up, he's like, when they say, thanks, you did a good job, son, we'll take it from here. It's like, you know, you're fucked. Kind of like, no, that's what you're trying to say. It's like, no one ever told you that line, you know? It's like, hey, we got it. Like, we got you. But yeah, I mean, hopefully people get some information from this right here, you know, like, hey, insider trading right here.
Yeah, I learned the lesson that old thing, like I said, always let them know you're hungry, but don't never let them see you starve. You know, once you look like a starving man, because in that's in life. You can't invest just like, you know, not really knocking it, but how many people give people on the street money? You know, because the time when you give them money, you know they're not going to do anything with it sometimes, especially somebody who look like they're strung out. You're not going to give them that. But if you see somebody who's trying to come up, you know, most likely, you know, that's somebody who's hungry, not starving. So
I give people food that I don't see with a sign.
Definitely.
You know, and then when they throw it back at you, it's like, see, if I would have gave you money, you know, who knows what you would have used that for.
So Will, we missed your first answer for the first question. So things are reopening in LA. How do you deal with it? That's the first question. Yeah.
Well, basically, it's like one of those things, you know, it's something that's never happened before. So I'm just going with the flow. What I did, I went, I got the vaccine because at first I was anti-vaccine.
Okay.
So, and basically like to do the work and go to some places, you know, they require you to be safe around them. Okay. And then, you know, I got to thinking about it, man. You know, it's more so like, you know, hey, it's like rolling the dice. You know, you gotta say, okay, I'm gonna do it or I'm not gonna do it. Either way it is, you know, it's like, hey, I'd rather take the chance. So, and the way I'm dealing with it, man, it's like day by day. But I've been fortunate. I work from home, so it's not been one of those things where I had to go. But you know, I'm anxious you know, to get back out there, you know. But you know, just dealing with it, man, day by day. Don't have no big expectations because I don't want to be let down. So we know this thing ain't over because we know we got another winter coming.
Yeah, we do.
And we got this thing, and it's not going to be over. I don't really think, because what was that last pandemic? 1918 or something, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The Spanish flu.
Yeah, it lasted like 3 years, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Like that. Yeah. So it's been what, a year for this, but we got better technology now. So
Right. Better medication, better science.
right.
So Robert, I mean, how have you been dealing with the COVID shot? Because a lot of people said they're not going to get it, and some people are like, I gotta get it. I mean, how have you been dealing with that? Have you got the shot, or you was like, I need to just take my time and figure it out, or how are you dealing with that and the people around you?
Well, at first I was like, I don't care what happens, I'm not gonna get it because I'm usually a healthy person. I don't get, if I do get sick, it's, quick. I'm never really down. But then as time went on, after, continuously hearing what was going on around the world and all that other stuff, I was like, well, maybe I should, just because, what's going on. Now that I'm older, I still don't get sick that often or anything like that, but I figured better safe than sorry this time around.
Okay.
But it took me, months to get there.
Okay.
It took me from COVID really hitting, which was what, February or something last year.
Mhm.
I didn't get vaccinated until maybe about a month and a half ago, or 2 months, something like that. So I waited the whole year just to see how things were going with everybody who was actually already getting the shot, making sure that I didn't see anything out of the ordinary. And then
You
I was
didn't see
coming,
no Tuskegee shit.
yeah, pretty much. But the funny part was when I did go, don't see that many people of color going.
Mm.
Right.
That's what's strange. So I went to a place that was really inner city. I didn't see that many, Black or Hispanic folks there.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of white folks coming in from all over places to get these
Yep.
And what shot did you get?
I ended up getting the Pfizer.
Pfizer, okay. And Will, which one did you get?
Pfizer.
Pfizer. And Charles, how are you dealing with which shot did you get, Charles?
I got the Brothers Johnson one from a homeboy of the street. But no, yeah, I got the Johnson one. I'm cool. I was a little worried.
It's a good thing you're not a woman over 50, right?
Exactly. I was like, uh-oh. And I got it on the 8th of April.
Okay.
And it came out on, I think, like the 10th or 11th that they were having problems with it. So I was checking everything. I checked in. And once you get the vaccine, if you sign up for this daily or weekly health thing, they'll send you a little thing you got to answer on your phone. So I was cool. I didn't have any issues. I had some sore pain on my shoulder, where the entry point was. But other than that, I was cool. So
yeah, it's a mass survey right now.
Yeah,
all you guys are the guiney pigs. Everybody's the guinea pig
right now.
Well, you know what bothered me, and you know what I was gonna I was gonna say this earlier too. Hank Aaron, legendary baseball player, passed away not even 10 days after taking the shot. His biggest thing, and I'm a baseball guy, Hank Aaron's the legend. You know what I mean? Yeah, I remember I see Hank Aaron. This is just after Tommy Lasorda. Tommy Lasorda had just passed away, and I see Hank Aaron, and it says Hank Aaron, and then gets COVID shot, wants to convince more Blacks to get vaccinated. And I never paid attention to it. Obviously, I don't get a flu shot every year. But I don't know why. When you said that too, Robert, when you said like there wasn't that many minorities over there in line getting it, it just, I don't get it. You know what I mean? That doesn't make any sense to me. I know I don't get the flu shot. I have not got the vaccine and anything like that. For people that are in my age group, I haven't seen the science that I want to see. And people for the age group above me, I've seen the science that like it's comfortable for my mom to take, and everything like that. So it was just interesting when you said that right now, because it's like, so people are coming. I know there's lots and lots of vaccines that are going back because they're just sitting there. They're going to these communities. And, that's why Spike Lee has this commercial, where he Ubers people to go get their vaccine.
Yeah.
You know,
I got mine because of my mother, and also I was traveling to the East Coast and back for I had to bury my uncle, and I was like, well, I know how my family feels about, because it's fear, the fear of it, and I got to take it serious. You know, the thing is, I got it because I didn't intentionally want to get it, but for me, it felt like God just lined everything up for me to get it. Long story short, I thought my plane fare was the plane that I had to take was at 10 a.m. in the morning, but really I didn't read the thing, and my plane was at 10 p.m. And so I had all this time, and I was like, well, I just got to get it. I guess God set me up to make sure I go get it. But yeah, I just got it because I was just like, let's just get it out of the way. You know, it's like I just wanted enough people to do it for me to feel comfortable to do it. But I'm not like pressuring people to go out and get it done and nothing like that at all. It's just like I just want to make sure that I'm not the gateway to making my mama sick. So
right.
Yeah,
And the bottom line is, man, the vaccines are safe. You know, when you look at everyone that's taking it, when you took at 15 people out of 8 million who took the Johnson one, I mean, there are more people that die every year. There's, like they said, 150 people die every year from Tylenol, and it's still on the market. So
I mean, no one died from the flu last year, though.
You said what?
I said no one died from the flu last year.
We don't know that though. I mean,
but that's my point, though. You know what I mean? Though it's like
that's what I'm saying. I mean, right now, the vaccines are working because of that. We're able to open back up. If we didn't have any vaccines, we'd be in the same space we were 6 months ago. You know, so I can say this: the vaccines are working, and it's just a lot of people. It's starting to slow down now. People are getting their second shot, and I think that was the scare from the Johnson vaccine. But if people don't forget the Johnson vaccine is a one-hitter quitter, which is why I wanted that one. But like I said, man, that's the only way we're gonna get back to any form of normalcy is if people get vaccinated and we try to reach herd immunity, which is kind of contradictory because now you're like, okay, well, I don't need if we're gonna reach herd immunity, I'm not gonna need to take a vaccine because everybody's gonna be vaccinated. So, but we're gonna be dealing with this, man, for the next 5 to 10 years, man. It is what it is with this thing. It's not going away not like swine flu or anything like that. The problem that we had, man, we had the worst possible president for the worst possible situation, and that's why we're here we're at right now, man.
And another problem is we have a lot more people in the world, and we speak about LA. The reason why it's so expensive is because I think our last census, which they didn't do a census last year, even though, they had people going around knocking on doors and stuff during the pandemic. I kept looking up, state censuses, and the last one that I was able to find was 2019. Per the government websites, .gov, ca.gov. Our last census was 2019, and just per the census, we had 27 million here in LA County.
Mm-hmm.
And LA County includes, Pasadena, all the way, I think, to San Bernardino or Riverside.
Yeah.
So it extends all the way to there from my understanding. But, that's just documented. The term illegal immigrant, especially Mexicans.
Well, now
there's a lot more.
Don't say that, man, because I've run into people. There's a lot of people from Europe over here, Russians and stuff. Because it was one girl that I met in Smart and Final one time, and she was just talking, and then me and her just got to talk. We exchanged numbers and stuff. So I remember she was working over in Beverly Hills, and she was illegal, and she was working for this family. I think the mother was both of them was a lawyer or something. I don't know how it was.
She was like a nanny or something.
But either way it is, the father was messing with her, and then basically he was just saying she can't say nothing. She said she couldn't say anything about it because a lot of them over here, man, I'm gonna tell you, it's a lot of Russians, it's a lot of Asians. Different ones.
There's a lot of immigrants.
Yeah, just look at what happened down in Texas, about 2 months ago, 90 people in one house. Man, that was crazy. They found 90 people in one house. And that's been going on. It's like with the census has been right since the beginning of time because we was doing this ancestry thing, And you know, I found the census of my dad and all that. And then it was so crazy that when my dad was born, his brother was born in January. His sister, it was four of them. It was four of them. And they all were born in January. So basically back then they were just coming in and they were just, and the names was jacked up, the birthdays was jacked up, everything. They were just coming in, just writing stuff down. And then they had a sister who they didn't even count. So, you know, and like I'm saying, with the census is, you know, give you an idea, but it's not exactly right. But going back to what you was talking about with the vaccine, my thing was, you know, the way I look at it, I just think there's something out there, and everybody keeps saying it's fake, it's fake, it's fake. No, okay, call it bird flu, call it hemo, whatever you want to call it, but there's something out there that took a bunch of us away in 2020. So you know, and it was something, and nobody don't believe that. You know, I don't know what to say. And then you know, with me, I'm more like, I was like you, Anthony. I never got a flu shot. Never got a flu shot in my life. Everybody who know me, I don't even take aspirin. You know, I drink water. That's it. You know, and that's just how I am. But this right here, this was just something different. And you know, like I knew it. It's every once in a while in a lifetime, something's gonna come around and it's gonna be different. And when I saw 550 some million people die in 1 year, man, come on, man. You talking about the average death in 1 year is 100,000. And that's from homicide, heart attacks, cancer, and all that. But then you got 550,000 dying of one thing. And okay, let's say it ain't all COVID related. It don't matter. A bunch of people died in last year. Yeah. So we know
a lot of those deaths went uncounted. Some people died from it without ever being diagnosed with it. So we don't know how many we really have. It could be 700,000, you know.
So that is the beauty and the problem with and that's the only flaw. I like you said, I'm 100% happy there's a vaccine. 100%. I'm 100% happy that it's available to everybody, which it is, you know, according to Biden, it is. And here in California, I think you can get it all the way up until 16, right? 16 is the lowest. 16,
yeah, right? Up to age, though.
But that's the beauty and that's the problem. Now, whether you are or not, and I'm not saying you are, the people that don't get it, kind of is like, everyone else is kind of getting it. Some people are having bad reactions, some people aren't. I have not had the vaccine. I don't plan on it. I am glad it's there. I might get it. I might change my mind. Something might show me a little bit different. It's the feeling of judgment. You know what I mean? For not getting it, because I still do everything that I could to maintain my safety, so that and control the people around me so that I can see my grandma safely. You know what I mean?
Well, so I can understand people feeling that way, because if anybody got a reason to feel that way, you know, Black people should feel that way. That's why I understand when Black people don't get it. You talking about the Tuskegee experiment, you talking about all this other stuff. So now
Native Americans, you know.
We go back out into the archives of all that. Yes, all that stuff happened. But you know, hey, nobody's judging you. That you do what you gotta do. So you rolling the dice just like we are. Everybody's rolling. I roll the dice, said I'm getting it, and hoping I don't have no side effects. You rolling the dice, hoping you don't get it. You know, because my thing is, you know, it's not gonna, if it swings one way or the other, it's not gonna be pretty. So you know,
and all the vaccine is a dress rehearsal for you, because you can still get the virus with the vaccine.
I wouldn't say it was dress rehearsal. I really think,
no, but like
to me, this day and age, we got so much technology. And remember, technology has changed. We can go back and reach for history on some things, but some things, man, we got to know. We moving forward. We got to be thinking forward. And a lot of times, look, we at a standstill. You know, we're not moving. And then, you know, of course, some of it is sympathetic for me. I got a son. He's a hell of a football player. He didn't get to play last year. Hell of a basketball player. Don't get to play. I miss those days, man. I miss those days. That's what I live for. And, you know, until, you know, I'm going to tell you, man, when you have a son and you go through that, man, that's what you live for. And I miss that, you know, and like my thing is, you know what? That was life. And I, you know, I love that part of it and I want to continue it. So, you know, unless you got, you know, to me, I'm looking at, I was like, at first, I was like, I'm not going to get it. I let everybody else get it. I know how I don't work. I work at home, you know, I cover up, I do everything possible. So, you know, but then, you know, sometimes when you hear about somebody who got it, who did everything right, I'm like, dang, that's scary too. So I just want to be prepared. If it come to me, you know, yeah, we can still carry it, you know, but the thing is, like,
we're coming to the end of a show. I don't mean to cut you off, but
don't cut them off. Don't cut them off, dog.
I mean, this,
man, I always love talking to Will. Me and him have some good conversations.
But I definitely want to, because I still got to edit this show right after we get off of this thing. So I want everybody to one of us quick question, and then I want everybody to tell the audience how you can connect with them and what we do. Because I know I didn't do a quick intro of what everybody does, but so what you do. Actually, first question is, will this summer be good? Because the next month is summer. So, you know, is it going to be a hot boy summer? Or is it going to be that? How we can connect with each other. I mean, what we do, and then how can we connect with, how the audience can connect with us. So, Charles, let's start off with Charles. So, Charles, is it going to be a hot boy summer?
Well, it depends on if I get this porno deal that I've been trying to get. The return of Chocolate Chuck might happen. So, but if not, you know, we're gonna be all right. You know, so.
Okay. And so what do you do, and how can people connect with you?
All right. Well, you got the LA Ballad of Sexes on Facebook. You got the Urban Wine Collective on Facebook, and you got the Poetic Soul Collective on Facebook, and we got the Urban Hiking Club on Facebook. And you get to go to any one of those. You can talk to one of us, have a good time, and we'll make you famous.
Okay. So let's go with Will. Will, so is it gonna be a hot boy summer or not?
Hot boy summer. Tell me what a hot boy summer is. I want to know. Summer's already hot.
You're gonna be out there, you know, got your sleeveless gear on. Got your linen pants. I'm talking about hot boy summer.
I don't know. I don't think it's gonna be a hot boy summer. Not for me, because I gotta go down south. Hopefully that's I'm hoping everything settled down. I got
hot boy.
Yeah, I got.
That's hot. That's sand flies.
I got this is a working summer for me, man. I got to get everything back in place, man. So
okay.
Yeah.
Well, you're already in jail, so you go for the list of your pictures. So you on the chain gang.
Hey, you know what? I'm gonna link that chain to you and take you with me. So that's what
I'm cool. I'm cool.
Yeah, hey, no, I'm cool. We can fly down there. We fly down there, man. You know, go out down there. We do some remodeling.
I do Memphis.
So Will, what do you do, and how can people connect with you?
Well, basically, well, I basically, let's see, what am I doing? Okay, I'm trying to do this thing called See the Follow Up. It's similar to kind of like this, but it's a little different. It's about news. Okay. So basically, what I'll be doing, I'll be doing like shows like this, but I'll also be showing news clips, and also have people on, and we're just gonna talk about like everything, just past things, present, you know, future, and all that, and then we'll be checking up on cases and stuff, just say, okay, like it's almost like a where are they now. Sometimes we'll go back into that, because, you know, like just say something like the guy that killed Tamir Rice. Okay, what is he doing now? Okay, what is Ahmaud Arbery's people doing now? You know, so it's going to be news oriented though. So it's called See the Follow Up, and it'll be streaming on Facebook and YouTube.
How can people connect with you?
Okay, you can connect me at See the Follow Up at gmail.com.
Okay, and okay.
Yeah, that was loud.
No, that's I have a count to make sure I stay on time. And how about you, Robert?
No, it's not going to be a hot boy summer for me.
Hot boy summer, okay.
No, but what I do, I am a licensed real estate agent in California. I also do life insurance, and I do tax-free retirement and any type of wealth planning around that.
Okay.
I can be reached at RMBIII on Facebook as a business page, RMBIII on Instagram, regular Robert Biggs on Facebook, and RMBIII also on Clubhouse. Phone number is 213-361-6978.
What you talking about?
You putting it out there.
That's a hot boy number right there.
Man, like shit, it's gonna be something type of summer.
It's the DMs.
And how about you, Anthony? How first, is it gonna be a hot boy summer for you?
I'm going out in my tarantarans. You know, I'll be like, woo! Nah, to be honest, it's this last year actually. I run a consulting company. So last year, it was like, hey, in the beginning of the year, we're like, I don't really take vacation. I don't really have an issue with like vacation time or anything like that. I just never took vacation. So last year, my mindset was like, hey, let's take a couple of weeks off here and there and go. I got a CVT tent. I kind of like being by myself. So, the whole concept of camping and isolation and hiking and being away and everything like that, grilling. So that's going to hopefully, take over my summer, along with maintaining kind of staying away from people, because I just don't trust people. So staying away from people, and doing that. So that hopefully is my hot boy summer. And hopefully I get on a lake somewhere, and then I can really put on some tarantaras. I'll do it, I ain't above it.
So, okay. And this, the other question is, what do you do? Talk about your nonprofit.
Yeah, so starting a nonprofit. It's called Wings in the Sky. Actually, the one who did the website for you, Karima, Sciatic Media is the one who also did mine and did the logos and everything. But we're gonna have some gear coming out. All the money is gonna go strictly to helping veterans. We've already have a couple of successful cases as far as like helping guys out get back on their feet. Getting into rehab facilities. PTSD is a real thing. I think we all got it in some sort of way. I'm more focused on the people that have gone to combat or people that have lost friends in combat. But I know it's now that term is generally in a broad use, but definitely going to focus on helping veterans and helping guys out. So social media too, still being creative for that, but look out for it. Wings in the Sky. If you need to get a hold of me, the man, Karima, just hit him up. He'll put you in contact with me.
Okay, cool. And I'm your host, Karima J. Spear, aka K2. You can find my work on karimaspear.com, or you can find my stuff on Karima's Show and Tell. That's KarimaShowandTell.com. Dope website for the radio show. And Psionic Media created it, Ryan Gonzalez. So you got to definitely connect with Ryan, or call me and I'll connect you to Ryan so you can get your own website up and running. Anyway, I want to thank my guests. I want to thank Anthony, Charles, Robert, Will for definitely making this another awesome show. This is episode 83. This is season 5, episode 83. Things are reopening in LA, and how do we deal with it? I want to thank everybody for definitely showing up and participating. Thank you, audience, for just tuning in. the next show, write it down, is May the 20th. It's the 84th show, May the 20th, right? And I'm going to release it at about 10:15 at night. So anyway, Karima's show is a great show. So definitely, y'all, go tell somebody. Until next time, peace out.
Peace.